Every year, 20 to 30 million people are trafficked throughout the world. According to U.S. State Department, 600 to 800,000 are trafficked across international borders every year. 14,500 to 17,500 are trafficked into the United States every year. And the average cost to buy a human being, $90. You know, we're facing a really big situation, and we're facing a really a travesty of international proportions. And that's why we brought the Teshuah along, because it's an opportunity for us to really make an impact and be able to change what's going on around us in the world, and be able to have an impact on young girls' lives that are being trafficked, and be able to give them hope, and to be able to help them to see a way out. Okay. So about 4.5 to 5 years ago, my partner, who's a missionary to Asia, he opened a restaurant in a major town in this Asian country, and it was right next door to a 16,000 student university. And when he got the restaurant started, he had a young lady that came in and wanted to start working there. And so he gave her an interview, and she brought one of her friends along, and both of these young ladies became Christians, and they both had a heart to work with young ladies that were in the brothels, and to be able to get them out of the lifestyle, and to see the brothel owners become Christians too. So as he went along, he got them the training that they needed. He showed them how to do it. And in this particular Asian country, relationship is extremely important. So he went, and the girls would take gifts into the brothel owners. They'd take gifts into the girls that were working in the brothels and stuff. And as they took the gifts in, that made room for them to be able to talk to the brothel owner and be able to talk to the girls. And so these two young ladies actually said to my partner, or said to this brothel owner one day, they said, "Hey, do you want to meet an American that speaks your language?" And he goes, "Well, I've never met an American, let alone one that speaks my language, so sure, you know." So my partner Andrew was able to go in and meet with this gentleman, and led the man to the Lord, and he became a Christian, and he set all of his girls free. And then he went and started partnering up with my partner to rescue more girls, because he still knew all the guys. It's like an organized crime. I mean, this is like John Gotti or Al Capone becoming a Christian, essentially. And so he still knew all the boys, so to speak. And so he started partnering with my partner to be able to go in and do these rescues and get more girls out. So to date, we've been able to rescue over 40 girls. We're getting ready to rescue a couple more. Currently, we have 19 girls and 2 female staff living in our 2,300 square foot rescue house. These are young girls. Some of the young girls are as young as 11 years old, so they're going to be with us a while. So what we've done is we've set up this rescue house where all of their needs are met, all their medical, emotional, spiritual, physical, crisis pregnancy counseling, education. All these needs are met, and then they're also taught work skills like harvesting and processing tea and coffee, and making bracelets, how to make coasters. They're also, we just recently acquired a CNC machine, and they're going to be able to do laser etching and laser engraving, as well as laser cutting. They're actually landed a contract to be able to make gaskets for different companies and stuff. So they're going to be able to do this different work, where we're giving them economic empowerment so that they never have to be victims again. When they leave our rescue facility, they're going to have money saved up, because what we do is we come alongside and we buy the products from the girls, giving them that economic empowerment so that they don't have to be a victim again. When they leave, they've got that money saved up. They're able to stand on their own. They're able to get their own place. They're able to be their own person, and they don't have to, they have skills and abilities. They have an education. They have everything they need to be able to stand on their own. So that's where the beauty of Teshuah comes from, is not only do we give them the tools that they need to recover physically, emotionally, and spiritually, but we also give them the tools they need to recover economically, so they never have to go back and be a victim again. And so our motto has become Teshuah Tea Company, world-class products by world-class survivors. And I think that summarizes what we're doing so well, and I'm so proud of it.
So how did you get started into Teshuah Tea?
I got started with Teshuah because this friend of mine, like I said, he's a missionary over in Asia, and he he was posting pictures on Facebook of some of the bracelets the girls were doing and stuff. And I was delivering fire trucks at the time and traveling all over the country. And you know, delivering fire trucks, I wasn't having to, I was stopping at truck stops, but I wasn't spending the night there like a lot of truckers do and stuff. But you may not see it outright in the open, but you still hear about it and stuff. And so it was something that the whole trafficking thing was something that really was bothering me. And so when I started seeing what Andrew and his team were doing with these young ladies and saw the bracelets that the girls were making, I'm like, you know, I could start a business buying these bracelets from the girls and selling them over here. And as I went through that whole process and started looking at it, I'm like, you know, I think there's something more here, and I think it doesn't just involve Brad's little bracelet shop, you know. I really feel like this could have a worldwide impact. And so as I started looking at it, I said, you know, let's set this up so that we can split the profits and do the donations and stuff and be able to get that money back to the rescue house where it really belongs and get the girls out of the trafficking situations that they're in. And let's be able to expand this and be able to take it worldwide. So a year and a half ago, April 13th, I had a Farmall 400 and I rolled my tractor on myself and barrel rolled it just outside here, 6 feet up in the air. I tipped it over sideways down into the ditch. And so I was up on the shoulder of the road, 6 feet up, well, 10 feet up with me on the tractor. And when the tractor went over, it landed on my pelvis and the rear tire was sitting and spinning on the right side of my pelvis, and I reached up and I found the axle blind and was able to push the tractor off one-handed. Everybody likes to tell me it was adrenaline. I'm like, no. The tractor weighed 7,800 pounds, and I pushed it off and got out from under it, and then the tractor started on fire. And you know, when you have something like that happen, it really, I had already really been evaluating my life and had already really been focused on, you know, stepping into the things that I felt like I was supposed to step into. But when this happened, it's like, you know, I really need to start looking at it more heavily. So when I was looking at Teshuah, it's like, I want this to be something that really can impact the world, not just the United States, not just, you know, Southeast Asian country or whatever, but it was something that really can go beyond what I'd be able to do just out here on my acreage on my farm and stuff. And so that's kind of why we started looking at it. And yeah. All right, so here's some of the products that the girls make. These are some of the bracelets. And this is just some of our 20-some styles. Like this particular one right here, there's 6 or 7 different varieties on there. There's a red, there's a yellow, there's an orange, blue, and a green, and then this multicolored. So the girls make all these handmade bracelets, and then we purchase the bracelets from the girls, obviously, giving them economic empowerment. So this is one of the coffees that we also carry. We do carry some pu'er coffees as well, but this particular one comes from Thailand, from another missionary friend of ours who he works way up in a remote village in Thailand where the per capita income was $200 a year. Through his work with them, they've been able to triple their annual income. So just imagine going from $200 to $600 a year. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but for us, that would be like going from $20,000 to $60,000 a year. I mean, that's a huge jump for this community. And I know that they've got like 20,000 or 30,000 plants I saw the other day that are getting ready to get planted. So our ultimate goal with Teshuah is to really be a blessing to the girls and stuff, but also to be able to bring in products from other people around the world and still have it be a blessing to the team and to the girls. So this is a coffee that we're really proud to carry. It's really a fantastic coffee. This particular one's a medium roast. But we have a pu'er, light roast, medium roast, and dark roast that all comes from the girls. and then we get it roasted over there and then ship it in and stuff. So that's the Thai coffee. So these are a couple of the different teas that the girls harvest and process for us. This is a Pilo Shun, and this is a wild tree black. And these are both harvested by the girls. We have several other teas too. They're all harvested by the girls, processed by them, roasted by them, and then we purchase them from them and bring them here to the States. So just to show you how this works really quick, this is a method that I really have come to enjoy. It's called the Gung Fu method. It's a very quick, easy way to brew tea. You don't have to do the whole wait 5 minutes steep type of thing. It does have an extra step in it, but it's an easy step. So simply all we do is I'll pour some water in here. This is hot water. And I'll let it sit for 15, 20 seconds. Let the leaves kind of rehydrate and unfurl. This is the Pilo Chun that I have in here. They call it the snail just because the leaves are rolled up into tiny little balls. And I'll give it a spin here and let it drain off. Basically, this step is just to rehydrate the leaves a little bit. Now this is a green tea that we offer. And we'll give it a few seconds to sit there and go. And while we're talking about that, or while we're waiting for that, just to give you a little background on this, the farm that these teas come from was actually owned by a former brothel owner who set all of his girls free, became a Christian, and now works with my partner over there in Asia, and he actually allows the girls to come out and harvest, and has actually set them up with the tea shop and stuff, and so this is one of the teas that comes from his farm and has fantastic products. Now you can see, and I might need to let that sit a little bit longer, but you can see how nice and clean and crisp that is as a tea. It's a nice light green tea. So that's the Pilo Chun. All right, so now I'm going to do some of the wild tree black. And I'll just rehydrate it a little bit here. And you can see how dark that water's already gotten. I'll let it sit for another couple seconds. But the Gung Fu method basically is just a very short brew times. You only need, for some of the teas, you only need 15, 20 seconds at the most at the beginning. Some of them you might want to go a little bit longer just to let it have a little more time to develop the flavor and steep a little bit longer. But even then, I wouldn't go much past about 30 seconds for the first little bit. We have one that's called the Imperial Palace fermented, and that one I really recommend that people use a very short steep time on, just because it's such a strong tea. Being fermented and stuff, it's really a strong tea. So it really you need just short 15-second brew times at most at the beginning. So this is the Wild Tree Black, and I could have let it maybe develop a little bit longer, but there it is. So if you're interested in any of our products, the company is Teshuah Tea. It's TESHUAHTEA.com. So TESHUAHTEA.com. Interesting side note on the name. People ask me, where'd you come up with the name Teshuah? I mean, that's kind of an odd name. And we were getting all this set up. We're getting ready to build the website, and we were thinking about what to name this business and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want something that's just, I wanted something in the vein of liberty or deliverance or freedom, because that's what we're after. That's what we're all about. But Liberty Tea, I could have done that, or and I just didn't really like any of the names that I was coming up with, and so I decided to start looking in some different languages and going, okay, what are some options that I have here for taking these names like deliverance and putting them into a different language. And so I Googled deliverance in Hebrew, and the name was Teshuah, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. I like that, Well, so I sent it to Andrew and via Messenger, and he sent me back a bunch of characters from the language that he or from the country that he's in, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I can't. Calligraphy, that's all Asian language to me, and I don't understand it. And so he sent me back, and he said, "Te" in this language means special, "shu" means tree, and is the emphasis at the end of a sentence, and so it means special tree in this language. And you'll notice that I don't mention the name of the country, because we have to be very careful with the security concerns. This country is known for their spying abilities and stuff, and so we don't talk about the country out in the open. But anyway, so like I said, Andrew sent me back the characters for this language, and that's what I meant with special tree. And so it was really neat that our deliverance is, especially as a Christian, I believe our deliverance comes through the cross of Christ, and so it was really neat to be able to have a name that represented that, and be able to tie it in with the deliverance of the girls, and getting them out of very bad situations and stuff, and being able to share the gospel with them, and help them to experience new life. Some of the girls that have come to us have been pregnant when they've come to us, and we've had 4 girls that have been pregnant when they came to us, and pregnant from their pimps, or not even from their pimps, but from their customers. And excuse me. So anyway, so the girls have come to us, and 4 of them have been pregnant, and so we give them the option of, do you want to abort or do you want to keep it? And we don't force them to do anything, but we say, here's adoption is very much a very real option for you, and we can help you. And so we give them crisis pregnancy counseling, and yes, we encourage them to keep their babies, but if they choose not to, that's their decision. And it's been really interesting. The girls that have chosen to keep their babies, they go into it thinking, oh man, this baby's going to be a constant reminder of how I was abused, and how I was raped, and all this other stuff. But what really ends up happening is this baby becomes a symbol of their deliverance. And this baby, like the name Teshuah, becomes a symbol of the freedom that they have, and that they're no longer in that lifestyle. And actually, this baby has become a symbol to them of that delivering power, that freedom, and that they're no longer there, and that they have a new lease on life. Just like they have this new baby, they have a new lease on where they can go in life, and what they can accomplish, and what they can achieve. And so I think it's just the whole concept of Teshuah is just such a beautiful thing to me. It's really an honor to be able to work with Andrew and the team.